Hi, folks. This is Sean Hyman from Chart of the Day, and I just want to talk to you about one of the things that I really love to find in my currency cross trader service, and I want to share it with you today. It's how to know when the planets align for your trade. And what I mean by that is I love to see fundamental and technical things, just collide and just come together for me. And this larger chart here is a chart of the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. It's what they call a major because it involves the US dollar. And you can see that it was technically overbought. It's spent a little time in that overbought territory, and so technically it's poised to go down. We've had lower highs and lower lows. We've had the trend line honored. We've had a major 200 period SMA on this 4-hour chart honored as well. The price still trades below it. And it's slumping downward. So by any technical measure, we've got a downtrend. So the best scenario you can have technically is to have a downtrend and have it pull back and honor your trend line, so that you're off to the races for it to head to new fresh lows. In this case, since we're in a downtrend. But at 4:45, there was a fundamental news event that was coming out on New Zealand retail sales, and the expected number was 0.7%. I've seen another site or two have 0.1% difference off of that number, so that's neither really here nor there. That's the basic number and area that they're looking for, because economists will differ on what they feel it should come out at. And so we know the basic area that it was looking for. It was looking for a positive number around 0.7% on its retail sales. And what did it get? 0.0%. And so literally no growth there in the retail sales number at all whatsoever. And so it's interesting that happened right as it's colliding with this downtrend line. It's below the 200 SMA, and the technicals give overbought readings and have for a little bit as it was approaching this 200 as it was approaching this downtrend line. And so that starts to sink the pair, and it's really a perfect alignment because you've got negative sentiment now on that trade, because who wants to be long that pair when this bad number just freshly came out, talking hours ago as of this taping. And again, this is not for real-time trading. This is for an educational example. So you'll get this a day or two later, and it will not be for you to trade off of. It's to an event to learn off of. So you've got your fundamental event that collides with your downtrend line, sinks it on the major. And what I like to look at is how it weighs upon the cross, because that's what I want to trade. Now, why do I trade the crosses? In this case, New Zealand yen. I do that because the crosses will typically have a more magnified move. They'll have more pips that can be gained. And guess what? We've got the same setup here. We've got the downtrend, as well as the 200 SMA. We've got the downtrend line honored. We've had it overbought with the same exact look on the slow stochastics, but the big difference is the drop that we get here is likely to be far bigger. We're likely to get a couple hundred pips drop here to about 100 pips on New Zealand dollar for about the same type of drop and move. And so again, just one more advantage: when the New Zealand dollar New Zealand / USD pair is heading my direction, and it's weighing down the New Zealand dollar across the board, guess what? That's going to help my cross, because who's going to want to be long New Zealand yen when New Zealand dollar, the major, is plummeting and has the same exact setup. So, of course, my advantage is, obviously, like I said before, I'm going to get a bigger drop, potentially more pips. So, what I've got is about the same risk on the trade as I'd have on a New Zealand dollar trade. It's about as close to the trend line as it was on New Zealand dollar, and so I'd be about the same number of pips away. But as this thing falls, there's about 200 pips here to get down to these lows here, and on the New Zealand dollar trade, there was only about 100 pips. So what have I done? I've increased and improved my risk to reward ratio. I've improved the potential amount of number of pips that I can pick up, which increases the amount of dollars that I can increase per position in my account. So in other words, I could have traded New Zealand dollar and got close to $100 of gain out of the 100 pip move, or I can get closer to $200 per mini lot traded gain on this move here, and that's just with it matching the lows here. It's not with it going into fresh lows like it's likely to do as well. So how do you get the perfect trade? How do you get the planets to align? And again, this won't be your reasoning behind each and every trade. But when there is the technical picture in your favor, with the trend, when there's the indicators wanting to pull a pair down anyway, or it could have been up. This could have easily been an uptrend and an overbought example, or oversold rather, and ready to head higher, because this is overbought and ready to head lower. But in this case, we've got the downtrend, we've got the technical indicators below the chart lined up, and we've got the negative fundamental announcement, and so nobody's going to have an incentive to go run in and buy this thing right now. And so you want to use that negative sentiment to your advantage. Hop on the negative fundamental event that's honored by all the technicals aligning as well, and you've got all that working in your favor. Sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals all saying that there's a good chance that this thing goes downward. If we're wrong in the trade, guess what? You got the same stop as you would have had on the New Zealand dollar trade. So these are things that we look at in the Currency Cross Trader service, where I give my traders, the exact entries, stops, and limits that I'm looking at, and send out alerts there to that effect. And we've had a great run. Even recently, we've had 4 winners in a row. And so we've had some losers, some winners, but definitely we've been on a roll here lately. And it looks like even the present trade that we're in is going to turn into a winner as well. And so got some really good things looking up. I know a lot of traders struggle with their trades, and it would be great if they had some mentoring, some hand holding, and some experience that they could have behind their trades. And that's exactly what you get in the Currency Cross Trader service. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.